This is my third fucking time recording this. So for the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, I've been trying to record this stupid fucking video. So this is my third attempt. The other two versions, I was very happy, very cheerful, very likable. I can't promise that this video is going to display the same traits about me. And I probably should wait until I'm in a better mood, but I have the time and I really just want to fucking get it over with at this point. So for the last two attempts, I've been trying to record on this, which is the Nikon one. Good camera, and I don't think it's the camera itself that is killing the video. It's the memory card, but it's nothing that is wrong with the memory card either. I think what happened was I bought an adapter to for that memory card to put it into my phone and just upload the pictures from the Nikon one directly into my phone, and I took it out wrong, and ever since then it's been giving me a bunch of shit. So I reformat the memory card. It should be fine now, but I've been traumatized. So I am recording on my phone. I currently own an LG V40. Think goes in there somewhere. I don't know how the model number is really spelled out at this point. But we're gonna do a fucking video about this fucking camera. So I originally started this video by saying that I didn't know what to do with my channel. That is still true. I still don't. I've had it for about 10 or 11 years, and I've had a lot of different tastes and whatnot, a lot of different phases that I've been through that I've made videos for and content for. And now we're going to tackle photography. My love of photography actually goes back a bit further than a lot of things that are on this channel. I got interested in photography in middle school, but I didn't really become serious about it until high school. I got a film rebel and was sort of the official keeper of a lot of the photo memories of my high school friends and I. So I have a whole collection of really dumb photos from high school that I still treasure to this day. At some point, my film rebel got stolen. What sucks is it's not like I was out somewhere and I left it sitting on a seat or something and someone came by and took it. Like, someone broke into my house when I was living with my mom and just stole shit. And that really, I wouldn't say it put a bad taste in my mouth for photography, but it was definitely like disheartening. My first official, I guess, foray into digital was a really cheap Vivitar camera, and I'm actually looking for it. I wanted to buy it. I mean, I imagine the only place I'd be able to find it would be eBay. And I remember how it looks. I don't remember the model number or anything, and I've put in so many descriptive words about it into Google, and I still haven't come up with anything. But if I could buy it back, I could at least have like some digital lomography, if that's even a thing. It was such a shitty webcam, it was such a shitty camera, and I think it was like 1.2 megapixels or something. It was terrible, but it was like my first kind of introduction to digital photography. But in 2006, 2007, somewhere around there, I ended up taking a bigger, more expensive step into digital photography with the Panasonic Lumix DMC FZ5. I have that written down because I'm just happy they've gotten better with the model names. That was the camera that I started doing my photo shoots with my very patient and understanding friends. They were all the pictures are horrible. I still have some of them. I think I lost a lot of them because at the time I didn't have a computer that had a whole lot of like storage space on it, and like external hard drives were not like a thing that I was considering at the time. So I would upload a bunch of photos and then delete whatever ones I didn't like. And so should be a few photos on the screen now. So these are the ones that I kept that I thought were really good at the time, but were actually like really horrible. So I did learn how to tweak settings a little bit with the Panasonic Lumix. I don't really think by the time I didn't have that camera, or by the time I sold that camera, I don't think I really knew how to shoot in manual mode, but I did know how to like change the shutter speed until I kind of got my desired result and whatnot. So I didn't really learn how to shoot full manual mode until I got my Nikon D3 around 2010 or 2011. So with my 3100, I've taken some of my favorite photos that I've ever taken. But I'm still just okay at photography. You know, I haven't really done as much photography as I would like to, and a lot of that is just because I split up my time between a full-time job and also just way too many other creative outlets and interests. So photography kind of gets backburnered a lot because it's the most expensive of the interests that I have. So it doesn't get as much attention. I will probably never be as good as I want to be at photography. I am 33 at this point. I've kind of passed that sort of magical stage where it's very easy for you to learn and whatnot. Not saying it's impossible, and I'm not saying that I'm going to give up, but if I've sort of hit my glass ceiling as far as like skills go, I'm okay with that. Like I'm competent enough to take like decent photos, so that's fine. At some point, I stopped carrying my D3100 with me places. It became really sort of frustrating for me to use. I take a lot of photos in low light with a lot of sort of fast action happening. Concert photography, basically. That's my favorite kind of photography. And it's just, the 3100 is just kind of not set up to do any real meaningful concert photography. I got away with getting some really good pictures in low light with it. But by the time you hit about 3200, maybe even like 1600 with the 3100, like the photos just kind of become unusable. And so that became very frustrating to me. A few years ago, I figured out that I wanted to jump into full frame cameras. I want to stay with Nikon. That's the system that I have lenses for, and it's also, I just love Nikon cameras. I know people kind of don't like the way it deals with skin tones and whatnot, but I've never really noticed that much of a problem with it. So I am a Nikon fangirl. Nikon, if you see this and want to send me anything, hit your girl up. So because I had it in my mind that I want to go to full frame, I had been looking at a couple of other Nikon models. I'd been looking at the D610 and the D810, both very capable cameras. I think used there, they average about $200 between them, the 810 being a bit more than the 610. But those were the ones I was considering, and my timeline on getting those was like years in the future, just because full frames are so expensive. And even though they're cheaper now, like they were still like way more expensive than I was considering paying. So with any plans of actually buying a full frame camera just way in the future, I happened to come across a listing for a Nikon D3 on eBay for $340. Now, the D3, with like a respectable amount of shutter clicks or actuations, they go for, I've seen them for about $500 to $600, which is like understandable. It's one of Nikon's flagship cameras, so even though it is several years old, it's still like highly sought after and valuable. So I knew when I saw the listing for the D3 for $340 that it had to be some sort of catch to it, and it was. There was 851,368 actuations or shutter clicks on it. So of course I bought it. This was totally an impulse buy, and that's not really like me, but I couldn't pass it up. I think there was like 20 minutes between me seeing the listing and me actually buying it. I did read enough of the description to see that there may or may not have been a replacement of the motor and the shutter for its, you know, throughout its lifespan. So that definitely contributed to me pulling the trigger and buying it. But there was also two other reasons I did it. The first reason is I don't shoot much. And when I say I don't shoot much, I really mean that. In the 9 or 10 years, or 10 or 11, in the decade or so that I've had my D3100, there's about 5,000 actuations on it. And I'll put the actual number somewhere on the screen here. So I figure if it takes me 10 years to take, you know, a little over 5,000 pictures, then theoretically the D3 should outlive me. Like it should become a family heirloom. Reason number two was that I didn't really mind eating the 360 with fees and taxes. I would have to if the D3 either did not work when it arrived or if it stopped working shortly after. And trust me, I'm not rolling in the dough. Like, I'm not financially stable to the point where that's not a lot of money. It definitely is. Hi, Frankie. It's definitely a lot of money. But to say that, you know, I get to own a D3 for even a little while and I get to play around with it, when I had no clue, I had no intentions of even buying one of Nikon's flagship models like that. I figured it was a low risk move for to be able to own something like that. Do you want to? Can I finish? Oh, okay. So this is her. I call her Deathbed because she can go at any time, and she's got some scars on her. I don't know if you can see it there, but she's got some nicks and some peeled paint at the top there. Also, the grip here is peeling a bit. And there's also a crack on the LCD screen down here. But overall, it's still like a wonderful camera, and I actually got a chance to officially test it out in Beaufort, South Carolina this weekend, which I'm about an hour from. Oops. I went to Beaufort to take pictures of the city and landscapes and stuff. That's not really my thing. I don't really have an eye for landscape photography or the patience for it. But since we are in a pandemic and it's kind of tricky to be around people these days, I just kind of had to do what I had to do. It was a little bit of a disaster. I did not fully prepare the way I should have to go to Beaufort. I looked at the weather. I knew the skies were going to be kind of gross looking, but I failed to look up anything else. And so I took a couple of pictures, all of which I hated. I was originally okay with about 3 of them, but as I was editing them, that dwindled down to 2. These pictures are fine. They're not setting anyone's world on fire. So believe it or not, the D3 is actually one of 3 cameras that I've added to my collection over the period of the worldwide lockdown. Happy to know that a pandemic will not stop me from spending money unnecessarily. I may or may not make videos about shooting with those. I do want to, but I'm a little traumatized from having to do this video, which isn't even that great. I can see if I had like filmed some wonderful life-changing fucking video, but it's just a video about me and my irresponsible financial spending. So in case I decide I don't want to make videos about the other cameras that I've bought, and I don't see you guys again for another 2 years, I do want to shout out some of the photographers that I've been watching on YouTube that's been giving me inspiration and just generally been entertaining as hell to watch. I'll put them on the screen here and I'll link to their channels. in the description. Not like they need my help with my whole 79 subscribers, but you know, maybe they can provide some good info for someone watching my channel that hasn't come across theirs yet. So again, their channel links in the description. I guess that's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. I promise you the other two that I recorded were a lot better. I'm sorry that this is what you got. You know, maybe I will record videos for the other cameras just to kind of make up for my sort of sour mood in this one. Yeah, I fucking hate technology. So like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool too, because I may not come back for another 2 years. But I think I will. I feel bad about this being the video. I just seriously just don't want to think about doing this video again. So thanks for watching, and fuck everything.